Just a little while ago, I was over at the Valero getting some gas. And as I was getting some gas over there at the Valero, I went in because a lot of times I like the human interaction. I went inside the gas station and I saw the lady at the cashier, who's usually the lady there. And I say, "Hey, how's it going? How you doing today?" She said, "Hey, I'm living. I'm breathing." She's, "How you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing amazing. Doing amazing. Thanks for asking." And she said, How much gas and how much, what pump or what gas, right?" She's like, "Get to the point." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, let me put 20 on pump number 3. And she said, "Okay, cool." And she's like, "Yeah, you always come in here and you get gas. You never come in here and get any food or any drinks or anything. You just get gas." And I said, "Oh, yeah, you remember me. You got a great memory, right?" Which, by the way, is one of the things that I always do. Always find a way to uplift, to encourage, to compliment. Always find something that someone does well and just speak that to them, right? We are usually our own worst critics, and we put ourselves down a lot of the times, especially internally in the mind. So you may find if you lift someone up, they might be surprised because you might open their eyes to an area about their lives that they might not have thought was up to par. And if you compliment someone, even just a small one can go so far, right? Find some way to lift someone up. So, I said just a seemingly, harmless compliment, and she had a counter to my compliment. I was like, "Oh, your memory is so good. You have a great memory on you. You remembered me." She said, "Oh, well, actually, my memory's not that good, actually. She said, "Actually, my memory is terrible." She said, right before I left, she said, "Being 64 is hard." She said, "Being 64 is not easy." That's what she told me. And I had to think to myself, because I had no counter argument. I dare not argue because I have no expertise in this area. My knowledge of expertise in this area is very small because I'm not 64, right? We know age is just a number, but I have more to explore. So I haven't reached that stage. I haven't reached that age. So I dare not argue to the contrary. I allowed her to believe and receive and perceive that being 64 is not easy. That being 64 is hard. And so I thanked her for the gas. I went back out to my car and I kept thinking about these words. Being 64 is hard. Right? And I thought to myself, is it really hard to be 64? It was as though it was a generalization. It was as though it was widespread information. Like, we all know that being 64 is hard. Like, this is just something that everyone knows, right? So I decided to explore. Could there be even more? To this lady at the cashier, this lady in the store who said it was hard to be 64. I thought to myself to the times where, when I was in situations and I had certain relations with certain aunts and uncles and aunties and, people in my family, maybe even people in your family, who we say are up there in age. My Uncle George, my Uncle Cynthia, they live in Florida and they're in their 90s today. But the thing is, they have people that are taking care of them. They have groundskeepers. They have, people that take care of the house, people that take care of the grounds, people that take care of the plants, people that take care of the garden, people that take care of them, that chauffeur them to and fro, that take them wherever they need to go, right? And then they also have, trouble driving. They can't really drive anymore. They have troubles getting around. They can't really move anymore. They can't really groove anymore like they used to. And there's a lot of the things that they feel that they cannot do anymore, and they've almost kind of given up. Contrast that to a lady named Cookie, who I want to go and visit. I definitely want to have a conversation with this lady. My mom went to go visit her recently, somewhere in Richmond, Virginia. Now, this lady, not only does she live alone, she cooks for herself, she cleans for herself, she drives herself, she has all her wits about her, she's sharp as a tack, she has, great vision, she's doing all these things for herself. She lives in a multiple bedroom house. She has no spouse. She's gardening every day, she's working every day, she's moving every day, improving every day. But the only thing is, this lady, guess how old this lady is? or guess what age or what stage this lady is at? Comment down below if you could guess. This lady is 97 years old. 97. Now, when I think this to myself, I'm like, what is the difference? This lady is she's 3 years before 100, right? She's 97. She's doing all these things for herself. When another lady, right? The cashier lady at Circle K, at the Valero there, says that 64 is hard. When you get to my age, life is not easy. When you get to my age, when you get to my stage, you'll see. Because you'll have difficulties just like me. It reminds me of the times that we argue for our own limitations. Have you ever heard anyone? Have you ever heard yourself? I used to do it for myself, right? We are very good at doing this. I would hear my aunts and uncles, they say things like, hey, bring that a little closer. My eyes are bad. I can't hardly see anything. Hey, you got to speak up. My ears are bad. I can't hardly hear anything. Hey, slow down. Don't go so fast. I can't walk. Hey, I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't. I can't. And you hear these words, can't, I can't, over and over again. But if we argue for our limitations, congratulations, right? We get to keep them. I found degradation through my own facilitation of the arguing for my own limitations in life. They were the things that kept me down, always looking to the ground, never looking to the sky, never asking myself, why? Why do I perceive this way? Why do I believe this way? Why do I think that life is over at a certain stage? Why do I think I should be decrepit and disheveled at a certain age? Why don't I realize I hold the pen, I turn the page? So I implore you, my friend, don't give the world just the rest of you. Give life the best of you. Allow yourself to see where you are blessed. And let your imagination of where you could be expressed. Don't fall into lack. Don't think you should be less. But as time grows on, you can actually grow strong. We have a big relation with our own inner expectations. Right. Our expectations can be our salvation, or they can bring more complications. Our expectation can be redemption or bring more frustration. Oh, how we flow and how we go with expectation. It's a reality until we change our mentality that where we are headed is just an eventuality. But let me go ahead. You heard what I said. Much love to you and blessings ahead. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mind. And you'll soon start to see all the signs divinely aligned as you reshape and redefine your concept of age. This is your book of life. Only you can turn the page. Much love.